What is up, guys? We are back again with another vlog, another video. And as you guys can see, I'm taking a quick break from work to make this one. Today's video, I am talking about a hot topic, man. The cat is out the bag. The Osmo Action 6 has been announced. And to be honest, we all knew it was coming. And I think there was even some previews of the Osmo Action 6 before, like, the actual announcement here in the States and in North America. Like, I was watching one vlogger, I forget his name. I think his name was Chris V or something like that. I think he's based out of China, so he got access to it via the release there. And yeah, we got a chance to check it out in advance. I wanted to make this video because the Action 6, I don't think is a camera that I will be upgrading to. And I don't think a lot of people should be looking to upgrade to this camera. Unless they just want to, you know? The main thing is like, this happens all the time. Camera companies, tech companies, all this stuff, they release their latest and greatest, right? And sometimes their latest and greatest has really substantial upgrades or like things that really, really like consumers want, you know, or have been asking for. And then other times they release their latest and greatest, and sometimes it's just, honestly, it feels like it's for the sake of releasing something, right? This feels like one of those times. I am a big DJI and action camera fanboy. I've been filming with action cameras for, I don't even know how long, to be honest. Probably 6-7 years now. It's pretty much all I make my YouTube videos with, right? So you would think for me and like my audience, like that would be a no-brainer. It's like, oh, new action camera's out, like let's cop it. But it's not the case for a number of reasons. The first one being that the Action 6, when you actually look at the specs of like what they're actually bringing to the table with it, it's not that big of an upgrade. There's really nothing on paper that, as an Osmo Action 5 owner, or even an Osmo Action 4 owner, I really feel the need to purchase this camera for. In a nutshell, if we're just kind of wrapping it up real quick, the Action 6 essentially has the slightly upgraded sensor and a little bit better low light performance, right? It's got the variable aperture, but I don't really feel like the variable aperture is all that it's cracked up to be. When I saw the variable aperture, I personally thought that we were finally going to get macro shooting abilities built into a camera, which that alone probably would have been enough for me to upgrade, right? We don't get that. You get a lens that you could do it with, but I mean, GoPro's had a lens for a while. I think Insta360 also has a lens that they are now marketing with what I think, to be honest, is a pretty cool Polaroid, you know, kind of like Insta360 is good at that stuff. Like they're good at like expanding their action camera to different photography and videography markets. So like the lens and stuff like that, like that's already there and an option in multiple things. So when you take away the macro focus, you take away the better low light performance, and you're left with essentially like a better sensor that, yes, does improve your ability to shoot with 4x3. But like, if we're being honest about the audience that action cameras typically fall in, it's people who use them for action sports or activities, or more casual vloggers. Like you don't really see like a lot of like high-end videographer type people or like anybody else in that category really leveling in on these specs that much. So what I'm getting at by saying that is like a lot of the people who are looking to get this camera probably won't even really know how to use that upgraded stuff, you know, or really take the time to utilize it. Like, I was talking with my buddies and one of my buddies, Chris Meets Chris, made a really good point. Like, he was like, super night mode, for example, is better on, I forget which camera. I forget if he said the Nano or the Action 5. I can't remember. But like, he basically was saying like, on one of these cameras, super night mode is better. But I literally never use it when I'm in low light situations because number one, I would rather shoot in D-Log. And number two, the low light that's built in is already good enough. I'm never really in a situation where I find that I need that extra boost and I have to go through the effort to be able to like switch my settings and do all that stuff. Like, that's kind of straying away from like what these types of cameras are built for, which is ease of use, simplicity, and no-brainer shooting, you know? So yeah, like, I think that that's kind of the unfortunately disappointing aspect of the Osmo Action 6. And I wanted to make the video because I personally, I don't think I'll be upgrading. If I do upgrade, it will literally just be purely out of preference, right? So like, if I just decide that I find a Black Friday like deal or down the line, I just want to try the camera, then like, cool. I would say like, let's do that, you know? And it seems justified because again, this is the only thing I make my YouTube videos with pretty much. Like, this is my main run and gun type camera as an action camera. So for me, it makes sense. But like, for anybody else who's like a more casual user, or for anybody else who has an action camera already, like, it's a pretty hard recommendation. Even if you didn't have an action camera, I'm gonna be honest, like, if you didn't have one and you were looking to get in one or get into using one, unless you just absolutely were like hell-bent on having the latest and greatest, I probably still would not recommend the Action 6 because to me, the Action 5 or even the Action 4, they do plenty already. Everything that you're probably looking to do with an action camera, they probably handle and they cost less, you know? So I don't know. I will say, like, I'm of course still a DJI fanboy. I love the company. I love what they do. I think all their tech is just like, not all, but most of their tech is like, it just works for me, you know? Like, I think it's very intuitive, but I will say with this release of this action camera, like, I was a little disappointed, you know? I was hoping for macro focus. I was hoping for, we got the improved low light, but from the footage that I saw, like, it did look like there was a lot of grain in the footage. Maybe they'll fix that with like a firmware update going forward, because I know that the Action 5 kind of had some crappy colors moving out of its first launch phases, and then they tweaked it and made it a little bit better. But yeah, I was hoping for more things along the lines of that, and we just didn't get that. But I'm curious, for people who may have pre-ordered or who plan on still getting it, or maybe are just still thinking about it, what are your thoughts? Do you think that this is a good upgrade? I have a spoon already. Do you think that this is a good upgrade? Do you think that this is kind of a waste? Let me know what you guys think about the Osmo Action 6, and let me know if you'll be grabbing one. That's it. Peace.